Strongest of its kind. Flare may cause blackouts. Massive solar storm on Earth. Take a look at this headline, you guys. This is coming out today, October the 3rd, 2024 at 9:49 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is literally an hour ago today. Now, I'm going to give you all the details, the photos, so you can see what's going on and take a look. Enormous solar flare on the sun sparks fears of radio blackouts around the world. Again, this coming out today. The sun fired off a massive X905 solar flare from around its equator that could potentially spark severe, vibrant aurora displays across the world over the weekend, this weekend coming up. And take a look at the live feeds of the photos. Absolutely incredible. Just in, the sun fires off the Earth-facing X9 class solar flare. This coming out 2 hours ago. This is trending across X right now. Sun emits historic X9 solar flare. And there is the blast right there. You can see coming out of the sun's equator, heading directly towards Earth. And take a look at some of these photos with me really quickly here before we dive into the articles. Major X905 flare sunspot region coming out from Space Weather Live. Let's see here. Alert, the biggest solar flare in years just erupted off the sun from the same sunspot as a few days ago, the 3842, and is facing towards Earth. This is at least an X9 solar flare erupting now. Radio blackouts and solar storms will follow, this person on X claims. Again, this is X, so I can't verify this, but this is what they're saying. And you can see, though, where this is coming out. Now, as I mentioned, I will share with you what is coming out from the news media outlets, so that way you can see exactly what it is that is being reported. But take a look at some of these photos coming out of this solar flare. Absolutely incredible. You can see where it's hitting. And I'm going to be sharing with you these articles, exactly what they're saying. And here is where they're predicting this is going to hit Earth. And this is right here. This particular one I know is an actual graphic that is coming out confirmed as to where it is going to be hitting. You're going to see it in the articles here in just a second. Strong R3 radio blackout in progress. They're saying from a X905. Follow the spaceweather.live flare. You can see it looks like it's going to be hitting right around the Pacific Ocean, or excuse me, the Atlantic Ocean, between South America, Africa. But it does look like North America, Europe, the vast majority of the world is going to get hit by this X9. They're calling it monster solar flare that is on the way. So I'm going to dive into the articles so that way you can see the latest on this and know exactly what's taking place. We will see if there's going to be blackouts. Let me know if you think there is or not in the comments. If you think there is going to be a blackout, drop a 1. If you think no, put a 2. But they're saying this is a monster solar flare. We've had solar flares, it seems, a lot recently. But they're saying this is going to be the biggest one we've seen so far. Now, we've heard that there have been some slight radio disruptions, things like that, from some of the solar flares. Nothing that has really messed up any of our everyday lives. They said that some of the Google Maps apps and things like that have had glitches from previous solar flares, but they're saying this one could be a big one this weekend. And we will see. I'm seeing on 1s and 2s pouring in. Some people saying they think that we could see disruptions from this. Other people saying, nah, I don't think so. But they're saying that this is the biggest one that we have seen in quite some time. Now, I do recall, I can't remember the specific year, there was a solar flare that we had. I think it was like 200 years ago, maybe back in the 1800s. I can't remember the specific date. If you know, let me know. But there was one that they said that there was a solar flare that hit about 200 years ago that was so intense that all of the, I can't remember what they had back then, the telegraph machines, they didn't have the technology we have today, but they said that they all stopped working. It was totally off, anything electronic was messed up. Even some people were touching, I guess, doorknobs, if I remember correctly, that were touching metal and things. They were sparking because the solar flare was so strong. Now, again, I know I'm speaking very vaguely here. I can't remember the details. I wish I had the article in front of me. I'm just speaking off the top of my head. Look that up to verify. I want to say it was somewhere in the 1800s. There was an extreme solar flare that had hit. So a lot of people are speculating we could see something like that happen again. And right now what's coming out today is that there was a mass coronal ejection that unfolded today, I guess, or we'll look into the details. It might have been yesterday, but they're saying it's going to be hitting this weekend. And this one is one of the biggest ones we've seen in a while. An X9, strongest of its kind flare may cause blackouts. The headlines are reading. So I just want to share this with you guys so that way you know the latest that is going on and what to expect. And if you see potential radio blackouts, disruptions, things of that nature that potentially could happen this weekend, you know what's going on. You know it's not an isolated situation. They're saying there is a massive, quote, monster solar flare that is hitting the earth this weekend. So let's go ahead and dive right in. But before we do me a quick favor. If you appreciate the updates, please take a second and hit the like button. I see we've got about 1,426 people live with me in the room. Hit that like button for me, just helps spread this out further. If you haven't done so yet, you appreciate the updates. If I could get half of the room to hit the like button, it really helps with the YouTube platform a ton. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. In addition to that, don't forget, hit the subscribe button to stay up to date. It's totally free. Why not? I'll let you know everything that's going on. Make sure you're staying subscribed. People still letting me know. I think it's YouTube settings unsubscribing people. So to stay up to date, make sure you're staying subscribed and also turn on that notification bell to get notified of breaking news. I'll keep you up to speed on everything. And you guys, there is a lot going on today. I woke up this morning and I was taking a look at the news. Keep an eye on my channel today. I think I might have to do several reports on a lot of different stuff that's unfolding right now. We've got the solar flares. There's warnings coming out about the Middle East, and Russia is involved in what's happening in the Middle East now. So Russia's got its own conflict. They're now involved with what's going on with Israel as well. In addition to that, we're also hearing there are recalls on eggs in Wisconsin. If you're over there, watch out for the eggs. And also, there is just a whole lot of stuff going on right now. We've got the elections coming up. And I'm trying to remember what else. I saw so many things. And we've got the port strikes as well. So we're hearing that people are panic buying. It's starting to increase across the United States right now, trying to grab up various goods. We're hearing that perishable fruits and vegetables are going to be the first thing to be hit. They're trying to determine how long this thing is going to last. Also, I heard that feminine products, they're saying, could go away here very quickly. So depending on how long this lasts, there could be a backlog in issues, but people are stocking up on water, various goods and things right now. Because this port strike, they're saying, we haven't seen anything like this since, I think it was 1977. And they're concerned, how long is this going to last? How long are the West Coast ports going to be able to take on their load, plus the Gulf Coast and the East Coast as well, before we have some serious backlog issues? So, like I said, I will keep you guys up to date on everything. So stay tuned to the channel today because there is a lot going on. October is kicking off. It is nuts right now. So let's go ahead though and dive right in. And like I said, hit that like button, subscribe to stay up to date. And as you know, I cite all the sources just like a book report. So that way I can hold myself accountable to the community. You can see it's the latest. You can click these. They're hyperlinked in the description and you can go check them out for yourself. But let's go ahead and dive right in so that way you can see the latest. Let's read through these, get you all the details as to what is going on. So the strongest of its kind flare may cause blackouts, massive solar storms on Earth, coming out today, just an hour ago. This one coming out from the New York Post. Now this article says, could this be the perfect geostorm? October is off to a hot start. The sun unleashed a massive X-class solar flare, the strongest of its kind, according to space.com, that has the potential to pummel our planet with a powerful geomagnetic storm this week. Now, the supercharged sunburst erupted from sunspot AR 3842 on Tuesday evening. So this erupted 2 days ago. It's going to be hitting Earth this weekend. It clocked in at X7.1, making it the second most powerful in the last 7 years after the monster X8.7 magnitude back in May, Live Science reported. And it's very fascinating to me. A lot of people I've been hearing mentioning this in the comments too. There is a lot of solar activity right now, it seems, more than normal. Are things ramping up with the sun right now, shooting out flares towards Earth? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Now, this also triggered a coronal mass ejection, or a CME, when plasma and magnetic particles burst forth from the sun's surface, which is slated to strike the Earth on Friday around 4 p.m., according to spaceweather.com. So this is going to be hitting today, they're saying. When this occurs, meteorologists predict that it will penetrate Earth's magnetic field, triggering a storm of G3 class geomagnetic storms, the third most powerful category after a G4 or a G5. These phenomenon have the potential to impact navigation systems, power grids, and even satellite communications. Space.com has reported. So they're saying impacts to navigation systems. So again, if you see disruptions on your GPS systems, power grids as well. So they're saying potentially this could equate to blackouts in the power grids, even satellite communications could be disrupted. They also supercharge aurora displays, often causing these natural light shows to be observed far further south than is typical. The flare was one of two that erupted from sunspot AR 3842 fired this week. The other was an M-class flare, the second most powerful class, on Monday evening. Fallout from the outburst caused temporary blackouts over large swaths of the Pacific Ocean, notably in Hawaii. Fortunately, meteorologists with the U.S. National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration Space Weather Prediction Center did not mention any earthbound CMEs that were spawned by said flare, Space.com has reported. So they're saying this is going to be hitting today, you guys, and there could potentially be disruptions to navigation systems. They said even potential power grid blackouts because it will be penetrating the Earth's magnetic field. There could be G3 issues, they're saying. Now, let's take a look at this one coming out from the Mirror. This one also, I believe, coming out this morning as well. Yes. Coming out October the 3rd. So it says enormous solar flare on sun sparks fear of radio blackouts around the world. The sun fired off a massive X9.05 solar flare from around its equator that can potentially spark several vibrant aurora displays across the world over the weekend. A massive solar storm has knocked out radio communications that is expected to affect millions across the world. Wow. Okay, so is this already happening? According to this article, a massive solar storm has knocked out radio communications. That is expected to affect millions across the world. The major X9.05 solar flare was fired from the sun and is expected to impact regions in Africa, the Atlantic Ocean, and eastern South America. According to spaceflight meteorologist Nick Stewart, the major X-class solar flare is, quote, in progress. So that's what I am seeing, is that this already, they're saying, kicked off Tuesday. It's on its way, will cause disruptions, and will hit the Earth today. Now, in a post shared on X, we've reached X9, initial impacts of strong radio blackouts in HF radio communications underway. This could potentially have impacts on hashtag Helene, response with HAM radios being utilized. An image shared in the post showed numerous regions across the globe would be affected by the impact. Many parts of Africa, eastern South America, the Atlantic Ocean show highest frequency absorption coming in. And here is a look at that as well. And like I said, this is coming out showing you the location where it's going to be hitting, mostly in the Atlantic Ocean, but hitting all those continents surrounding it. Now, the massive solar flare has the power to spark shortwave radio blackouts. It has already affected communications across Hawaii, the Pacific Ocean. The latest flare that was fired from the sun earlier this week is the second strongest one to have hit Earth this solar cycle. The current solar cycle started in 2019, and these strong bursts could indicate that we have entered its peak. So they're saying we could be at the peak of this right now as these are coming towards Earth. A similar this thing keeps popping up here. Here we go. A similar geomagnetic storm happened last month after an X-class flare hurled a coronal mass ejection, or a CME, towards Earth. There have been plenty of solar activity this year, with Earth experiencing its most powerful geomagnetic storm in 21 years. It triggered the most widespread auroras in the past 500 years. Solar flares are powerful bursts of ultraviolet radiation that happen on parts of the sun where magnetic fields are notably strong. According to NASA, an X-class solar flare denotes the most intense flares, while the number provides more information about its strength. In certain circumstances, flares and solar eruptions can impact radio communications, electrical power grids, and navigational signals. They also pose risks to spacecrafts and astronauts as well. So, so some more updates about this powerful solar flare that they're coming that could cause not just radio blackouts, but disruptions to navigation systems, even disruptions to electrical grids. So they're saying this is a pretty serious one. And here's some more photos coming out on X of this X9 solar flare. And you can see, man, that looks like just a major burst coming from the sun, coming out, and they're saying it is heading towards Earth. These photos, man, very interesting to see these images, these pictures coming out of this solar flare. They're saying from the sun that is coming towards the Earth, directly facing Earth, it says. And you can see these sunspots, the location of it coming out. And they're saying it's heading this way. So apparently it erupted Tuesday. It is on its way towards Earth and will be hitting, they're saying, today, this evening, Friday evening. So we will see, though. I will keep you guys up to date on everything so that way you know exactly what is going on. And like I said, stay tuned to the channel because there is a lot taking place right now, you guys. So do me a favor, if you appreciate the updates, I see we've got 2,163 people on with me live. Please take a second. Hit that like button. I appreciate it. It helps out the channel a ton. Actually, if we get half of the room to hit the like button, that would be awesome. If you haven't done so yet, you appreciate the updates, please do so. Also, subscribe to stay up to date. And I'm going to keep you up to speed on everything that's going on because there is a lot taking place in the world right now. And as always, these articles are going to be linked in the description below. But all you really got to do right now is go to Google and type in solar flare, X9, sunburst, sun flare. This is all over the news media headlines right now. And a lot of people are saying this could potentially be extremely severe sunburst or coronal mass ejection to the point where we could actually have electronic disruptions this weekend. But we will see, because we've also heard those warnings before and there has been nothing that happens. So regardless, want to make sure that people know and are aware so that way if things are disrupted, you know, okay, there's nothing wrong with my devices. It could be the solar flares that are hitting right now, and we're hearing that there is a whole lot of increased solar activity happening right now, you guys. So like I said, I will keep you up to date. Articles are going to be linked in the description below. Hit that like button, 30 more likes, and we'll have 1,000 while we're live. That is awesome. Thank you so much for the support. Subscribe to stay up to date, and I'll keep you up to speed on everything. But that is the latest, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless.